everybody and welcome to the Red Cyberglass. If this is the first time we meet, and actually probably it is because I have just a bunch of few people following me at the moment, but welcome, my name is Andrea, I'm Italian and I'm here today to talk about Lightroom. And in particular, we're going to talk about the last update regards the replacement of the old split toning panel with the new color grading panel. Okay, so before we start, if you want to consider to subscribe to the channel, don't hesitate, it's there, it's free, you can do that. Every week I'm uploading a new video, so just hit the notification bell so you know exactly when my videos is online, and then yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's get started. So before starting, what is exactly this color grading panel, Andrea? I mean, give me some clarity, I don't know. So the color grading panel, it's a panel that allows you to work in three different groups of pixels, three different areas of your photos. So you can work on either in your shadows, midtones and highlights all together. When you go into the color grading and you change something, that change applies all across the photos to all the shadows or all the midtones and all the highlights. So it's like applying a filter to your photo. So when exactly we are supposed to use the color grading panel? We use the color grading after we are done with the color correction. So when the exposure of the photos is fixed and we are happy with what we can see through the photos, then the next phase is to work with the color grading. So in cinema, it's exactly that the process. First, you adjust the exposure and you do the color correction, and then you do the color grading. That is when you want to give a look, a specific cinematic look or a specific style at your images. Here we have an example, a photo that I've taken. I did just a little bit of color correction, so you can see the before and after. It is mainly about color correction, so exposure, a little bit of clarity, just a little bit of vignetting, and that's it. So I haven't touched the colors, just for the sake of the example, so that we can really exaggerate a little bit in color grading. Okay, so where is located the color grading panel? The color grading in both in Lightroom Classic and Lightroom Non-Classic, it is located in the develop panel, and you scroll down all the way down after you see the exposure, the curves, the HSL. Oh, there is the color grading. Okay, so the color grading, as I said, it works influencing specific areas of the photo. So here we have the three wheels. So this is the main aspect of the color grading panel. So we have the three wheels: shadows, midtones and highlights. So here you have the view with the three wheels, or in alternative you can work with each single wheel. Okay, so you have all the three of them enlarged and zoomed. You have one last option, that is working on a global wheel that is going to affect the entire photo. Okay, so whatever is the color that you select here, this is going to apply to the entire photo. So let me show you an example. So for instance, let me drag this cursor all the way here in the green, and you can see that if I change the saturation, it changed the saturation in all the photo, in the entire photo, as well as if I move the luminance tab cursor, it changed the luminance to the entire photo. Okay, the global wheel, be careful, because yeah, you're gonna change your photo completely. Okay, so let's go back to the three wheels view. So how do we use it, how it works, what do we have here? So here for each single wheel we can work on hue, saturation and luminance. And guys, this is a big difference compared to the previous version of split toning, because in split toning you could only work with hue and saturation, not with luminance. Now you also can work with luminance. That's awesome. So let's take for instance the shadows. So let's click the center of the wheel and drag it all the way to the external. So guys, I'm going to exaggerate now for the sake of the example. So this is not good photo at all. It's just to show you what happened. Okay, when you click again and you have this little radius, this line, this is the saturation. So all the way to the center, saturation is 0. All the way to the external, the saturation is 100. So here you work with the saturation of the hue that you selected. When you move your little dot outside of the circle, well, in this case you work on the hue. When you have selected your favorite situation in the wheel, then you can work on the luminance corresponding to the wheel. So all the way down, minus negative 100 is luminance is 0, basically it's negative, and all the way up you increase the luminance of your shadows. Okay, in this way you can work on the 3 wheels. So for our example, let's imagine I want to give the classical teal and orange feel. Well, we go over here around the teal hue, we get the saturation that I like, and the luminance is quite okay. Oh, let me have a little bit more of saturation with this hue. Okay, then midtones, same story. So let's imagine we want to give a little bit of color to our midtones, a little bit of warmth. Okay, so we go in the opposite of the teal, that is the orange. And in the highlights, let's assume we want to give a little bit of vintage look, so we go for somewhere between green and yellow. And the luminance, I'm fine with the luminance, to be honest. Okay, so this is our grading. So when we are done with our grading, we can work with 2 different sliders. So this one is called blending, and this basically regulates how the 3 wheels, okay, already adjusted, interact between each other. So if we go with the blending all the way to 0, the photo is much more punchy, and the colors altogether are really contrasted compared to when you move the cursor all the way up to 100, that it's more blended and less contrasted, even if it is stronger. So again, here you can work and regulate. I'm happy with this 29 value of the blending. Then you have balance. Balance is exactly the same as it was in split toning, so you can give more emphasis to the shadows if you move the cursor to the left, or you can give more emphasis to the highlights if you move it to the right. Again, this is the way it works, and this is up to you. So as you can see, this panel gives you a lot of freedom to your creativity, to create your own style, your presets, to give a cinematic look. Of course, it's not something you want to use if you do fine art landscape, because you alter it a lot, you change a lot the entire look of the photo. If you look at the before and after, you see how different it is our photo now. It is really completely another thing. Okay, so be careful when using the color grading panel. It's a beautiful tool. It allows you to, it opens a lot of doors to creativity and art and style and whatever, but you are heavily changing the look of your image. There is another feature that I haven't talked about. That is, of course, the possibility to switching off to make it invisible or not one of the wheel. That is just clicking the little eye here below the wheel, or you can completely switch off the color grading adjustment that you did by clicking this little switch, and you can see the difference between the before and after applying the color grading. Well, one last thing, that is, when you work on a specific wheel, like here in highlights for instance, you have this little square that allows you to use presets. Okay, so if you have already some colors that you usually use, you can save them here using the eyedrop, and then you can apply that specific color to your shadows, highlights, or midtones, whatever they are. When you zoom into your wheel, you can also work using sliders to work more precisely to the hue, saturation, and luminance. Again, this is an alternative to working basically using just the wheel that is not super precise. So here you can really be much more precise, of course. That's it. And that's all, guys, for today's video. Once more, we are done. So guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like it, if you don't, your experiences, whatever you share, let me know. Okay, let's start to have a conversation. Let's be in contact. I mean, to me it means a lot. So if you want to do it, it's free, you can do it. I'm here, I can answer. Okay, so subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. Give it a like to the video if you enjoy it. To me it means a lot. And guys, thank you very much for watching. I wish you all the best. Take care, wear the mask, and I will see you into the next video. Okay,
See you soon. Ciao, ciao.